Good day everyone, I am Jessa Bilikayan and today I will going to discuss the lesson 9.1 which is all about the weather patterns in the Philippines, the monsoons and typhoons. So in the first slide is all about the simple definition of the weather pattern. So weather patterns are like the routine of weather in a particular place, helping us understand the typical weather conditions we can expect over time. So weather patterns refers to the recurring and predictable trends in weather conditions. They essentially act as the routine of weather, defining the typical temperature, precipitation, wind, and other atmospheric conditions we can expect over a prolonged period. So understanding these patterns help us anticipate what kind of weather to expect in a particular place, allowing us to prepare accordingly and make informed decisions about our activities that we'll do in that day. So next is monsoon. A monsoon is a seasonal rain and wind pattern. Monsoon is from the Arabic word mausim, which means season. So reflect in this definition, these patterns are driven by the temperature differences between land and ocean, that creating a circulation of air that brings moisture, laden winds and heavy precipitation to certain regions during specific months. So while monsoons are often associated with heavy rainfall, they are actually a complex meteorological phenomenon with distinct wet and dry phases. So this is influencing the climate and ecosystems of any regions around the world. So the Philippines experiences two distinct monsoon seasons. The southwest monsoon or habagat from June to September, and the northeast monsoon or amihan from November to February. So with the majority of typhoons hitting our country during the transition period between this monsoon, so typically from July to October, primarily impacting the eastern coast of Luzon, Samar, and Leyte. Southwest monsoon or habagat brings heavy rainfall to the western parts of the Philippines during the summer months, June to September. It is also characterized as warm, wet, and stormy. So as we reflect, habagat, on the other hand, is the southwest wind characterized by frequent heavy rainfall and humid weather. So during southwest monsoon, our hanging habagat, the pressure or the high pressure area is at the Australian continent, and the low pressure area is at the North China, Mongolia, and Serbia. So the gusty winds from the west and excessive rainfall often turns to dangerous typhoons. So in order for the hanging or the habagat to occur, it should be somewhere in the northern hemisphere. So the land heats up faster compared sa ocean. So this creates a low pressure area over the land and a high pressure area over the ocean. So the pressure difference causes winds to flow from the high pressure area over the oceans toward the low pressure area over the land. So these winds are warm and moist because they originate from the equatorial Pacific. So as the warm, moist air rises over land, it cools and condenses, leading to heavy rainfall. This is why our country or the Philippines experiences its wet season during the habagat period. So in comparison to southwest monsoon is the northeast monsoon or amihan. This delivers significant rainfall to the eastern regions of the country during the winter months November to February. This is also characterized as cool, dry, and stable. So, amihan is the Filipino term of northeast monsoon, which is a cool and dry northeast wind coming from Serbia and China and blows down the Southeast Asia. So this season is characterized with slight to moderate temperature and a prevailing cold wind that affects the east of the Philippines. So the monsoon commonly occurs from October to late March, although occurrence may vary every year, so it depends on that year. Then when it comes to it's winter in the northern hemisphere, the lands cool down faster compared sa ocean. So this creates a high pressure area over land and low pressure area over the ocean. The pressure difference causes winds to flow from the high pressure area over land towards the low pressure area over the ocean. So these winds are cool and dry because they originate from Serbia and northern China. So as the cool dry air moves over the Philippines, it brings clear skies and less rainfall. Typhoon has a lot of different originated words from different countries, but I only choose two. So the term typhoon originated from the Chinese word taifing, which means great wind. This word was adopted by European explorers and traders who encountered these powerful storms in the western Pacific Ocean. So the Greek word typhoon means violent wind or whirlwind. So the word typhoon has a fascinating history rooted in both Chinese and Greek languages. It originates from the Chinese word taifing, what as I said earlier, it means great wind. So this term was adopted by European explorers and traders who encountered these powerful storms in the Pacific Ocean or the Western Pacific Ocean. Next is the process of forming a typhoon. I will just give you a summary and explanation in this. Typhoon develop when warm ocean water provide the energy for their formation. Winds blowing over these warm waters gathered moisture and rise, creating an area of low pressure. So this rising air cools and condenses, releasing heat that further fuels the storm. Meanwhile, cooler air rushes in below, creating a pressure difference that accelerates the winds. These winds begin to rotate, spinning around a central eye where the air is calm and clear. So the more warm air and moisture available, the more intense the winds become, leading to the powerful storm we know as typhoons. In order for a storm to be a typhoon, wind speed have to reach at least 74 miles per hour. Once a storm becomes a typhoon, wind speed also determines the category of the typhoon or the storm. A category 1 storm is the lowest level, with winds blowing from 74 to 95 miles per hour. The highest and most destructive storms are in category 5, with wind speed reaching 157 miles per hour or even higher. So to be classified as a typhoon, a storm's wind speeds must reach at least 74 miles per hour. So the intensity of a typhoon is further categorized based on a wind speed, ranging from category 1, the weakest, with winds between 74 to 95 miles per hour, to category 5, the most destructive, with wind speed reaching 157 miles per hour or higher. So this categorization helps meteorologists and emergency responders assess the potential damage and prepare for the storm's arrival. The Philippines is located within the Pacific Typhoon Belt, a region in the western Pacific Ocean where most of the world's tropical cyclones form. So this means the country is directly in the path of these storms, meaning the country is directly in the path of these storms, making it highly susceptible to their destructive impacts. The Pacific typhoon belt is characterized by warm ocean waters and atmospheric conditions that favor the formation and intensification of these powerful storms. Next is warm ocean water. Typhoons form over warm ocean water, and the Philippines is surrounded by the warm waters of the Pacific Ocean. These warm waters provide the necessary energy and moisture for typhoons to develop. So, meaning these warm waters serve as a critical source of energy and moisture, providing the necessary condition for typhoons to develop and intensify. The heat energy from the warm waters is transferred to air above, causing it to rise and condense, releasing more heat and fueling the storm's growth. So the warm waters also provide a source of moisture, which is lifted into the air and forms the clouds and rain associated with typhoons. And lastly is latitude. The Philippines is located near the equator, where the ocean is warm and conducive to typhoon formation. So the equator's proximity allows the country to experience consistently warm and ocean temperatures, which are essential for typhoon formation and intensification. The warm waters provide the necessary energy and moisture, fueling the development of these powerful storms. So as you can see, I provide you a detailed comparison between typhoon and monsoon. So, typhoons and monsoons, while both weather phenomena, differ significantly in their formation, duration, predictability, and impact. So, typhoons are intense tropical cyclones characterized by strong winds, heavy rainfall, and storm surges, typically lasting for a few days or to a week. They form over warm ocean water and are notoriously unpredictable in their path and intensity. So in contrast, monsoons are seasonal wind patterns characterized by heavy rainfall and lasting over several months. They are driven by temperature differences between land and sea, as I discussed earlier, and are generally more predictable in their timing and duration. While both are cause flooding, typhoons are known for their devastating winds and storm surges, while monsoon bring relief from dry conditions but can also lead to widespread flooding. So that's all. Thank you.
Good day everyone, I am Lourdes C. Suarez. So from now on, let's move on about the lesson 9.2, Rules in Pag-asa in Weather Monitoring and Public Safety. First, let's think what is Pag-asa known for. Pag-asa is Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical, and Astronomical Services Administration, the Philippine National Institution dedicated to provide flood and typhoon warnings, public weather forecast advisories, meteorological, astronomical, and climatological. It plays a crucial role in weather monitoring and public safety by providing timely and accurate weather forecast warnings to the public, allowing people to prepare for potential natural disasters like typhoons, flood, and storm surge, thus safeguarding lives and properties across the Philippines. Pag-asa monitors tropical cyclone activity and issues warning if they fall within the Philippine Area of Responsibility, the PAR. When a named weather disturbance within the PAR has made or is expected to make landfall in the Philippines, Pag-asa is mandated to issue tropical cyclone bulletin in every 3 to 6 hours. If the weather disturbances is not affecting the land, the weather agency has to issue tropical cyclones bulletin within the 12 hours. So, here's the key aspect of Pag-asa's rule in weather monitoring and public safety. Number 1, real-time weather monitoring. Utilizing advanced technology like weather radar, satellite imagery, and weather station to track weather system and potential hazard in real time. 2. Ensuring weather warnings. Providing timely alerts about approaching storms, including tropical cyclones, heavy rainfall, and storm surge, with details on their expected intensity and path. The real-time weather monitoring and ensuring weather warnings are crucial for ensuring public safety and minimizing disruption. For the example of this is the automated weather warnings. Receive alerts when severe weather is detected. Customized to your specific policies and location. Other is real-time weather data. Access current weather condition, forecast, and historical data to make informed decision. It benefits to the public to enhance public safety through timely warnings and alerts. Public communication. Disseminating weather information through various channels like television, radio, social media, and their website to ensure widespread awareness. Number 4, early warning systems. Enabling proactive measures by ensuring early warnings to local government units and communities, allowing them to initiate necessary evacuation and safety procedures. Public communication and early warning systems are crucial components of weather monitoring and public safety. Here are some key aspects. In public communication, clear messaging. Use simple, clear language to convey weather warnings and instruction. Regular updates. Provide regular updates on weather conditions and forecast. An early warning system. Automated alerts. Implement automated alert system that can quickly disseminate critical information. Cell broadcast. Utilize cell broadcast technology to send alerts to mobile devices. Like for example of this is the NDRRMC hotline. Sirens. Use sirens to alert people in immediate danger. Lastly, number 5, climate change adaptation. Providing information on climate change trends and potential impacts to support disasters preparedness and mitigation strategies. Climate change adaptation and weather monitoring involves enhancing the ability to predict and prepare for extreme weather events and changing climate conditions. By improving of forecasting and warning system, increasing the resolution of weather forecasting models to provide more detailed and accurate predictions. Developing climate services by providing climate information and prediction to support decision-making in climate-sensitive sectors like agriculture, water resources, and health. Implementing impact-based forecasting by focusing on the potential impacts of weather events rather than just the weather itself to support more effective decision-makings. In conclusion, Pag-asa acts as the primary source of weather information in the Philippines, enabling citizens and authorities to make informed decisions to minimize risk associated with weather-related hazard. By relying on Pag-asa's accurate and timely weather information, the Philippines can reduce the risk associated with severe weather events, protecting lives, properties, and livelihoods. Thank you.
Good day everyone, I'm Noel Castigon and now I will be discussing Lesson 9.3 Indigenous Weather Knowledge and Practices. What is indigenous weather knowledge? Indigenous weather knowledge isn't just about predicting rain or sunshine. It's a deep understanding of how weather works based on many years of watching nature and sharing the knowledge within their communities. It's a way of life deeply connected to their culture and beliefs. They see the weather as part of a bigger picture connected to the animals, plants, and the land around them. It passed down through generation, often through stories and songs. So, imagine you are a farmer, but instead of using a weather app, you look at the sky, the trees, and the animals to know when it might rain. That's what indigenous weather knowledge is all about. It's like a secret code that people have to learn over many years by watching nature or by through their beliefs or traditions in their places. Indigenous weather practices. 1. Observing animals. Paying close attention to how animals behave. For instance, if birds fly lower to the ground, it might mean a storm is coming. Animals often sense changes in the weather before humans do. So, the indigenous peoples have learned to read these animals' behavior over generation. They notice that animals often react to changes in the weather before humans do. This knowledge helps them prepare for storm, floods, or other weather events. Number 2. Watching plants. Noticing changes in the plants, like how they grow or how their leaves look certain in plants, might wilt before a dry spell, or a flower might bloom earlier than usual, indicating a warmer spring. For example, if a plant known for blooming in late spring suddenly blooms earlier, it could indicate a warmer spring season. Number 3 is looking at the sky. So studying the clouds, the stars, and the moon's specific cloud formations or the position of the moon can be strong indicators of upcoming weather changes. So indigenous people or even us will look to the sky. If the clouds are dark and the winds are strong, so these are the signs that the rain is coming. By this, they will become ready in every situation if there is upcoming weather changes in their places. Number 4, using traditional tools. Some indigenous communities use specific tools or instruments to measure wind direction or temperature, often made from natural materials. So indigenous people use traditional tools or methods because they use it to make rituals because through these methods or tradition, they will predict the temperature, rain, and other weather related. 5. Sharing stories and knowledge, passing down weather knowledge through stories, songs, and rituals. This ensures that the knowledge is preserved and shared across generations. This oral tradition is crucial for maintaining cultural identity and adapting to environmental changes. By sharing stories and knowledge about the stories, songs, and rituals, by this, it will preserve and share to the community so that it will maintain the culture identity within them by preserving it to share to the next generations. 6. Integrating with daily life, using weather knowledge to make decisions about daily activities. This might include planning farming activities, fishing trips, or even daily travel. So, this is important by ensuring to have an abundant harvest or abundant harvest through fishing, and by ensuring also to have a safe travel. So this is very important nowadays or in our daily lives. Challenges and importance. Unfortunately, this valuable knowledge is sometimes lost because of things like colonizations and changes in their way of life. It's important to remember and protect this knowledge because it teaches us about nature and how to live in the harmony with the environment. It offers a different perspective on weather predictions, one that is deeply rooted in observation and cultural understanding. That's all. Thank you.